Just because they prayed 5 times a day and they did drink alcohol,
that doesn't make you a true Muslim.
That's like a Sikh. I may pray, 3 times a day, but I could do all these horrible stuff. Doesn't make me a good Sikh. It just means that I'm doing the actions, but I'm not even listening to the words of those prayers. Right? So this guy's make some proper crazy statements, man.
It's been taught down through the generations. The Jahangir, right? He executed the 5th Guru, Guru Arjan Dev. Right?
Okay,
and it wasn't. So the claim is that the Mughals forced the Guru to accept Islam. This is simply not true. La ikraha fi din. No compulsion in the religion. It was a political. Yes, Jahangir did ask the Guru to change his religion to accept Islam.
He's just gone against his own point.
Of the truth, because of a political reason, because Jahangir felt threatened of his throne, that the Guru is going to take over his throne.
Why would the Guru take over his throne? The Guru had nothing to do with being, there's no army,
then the Guru
and no soldiers.
Always be below him, and he will always remain the king. Yeah, and we can go into that.
Actually, why would he feel that threatened? Because even from Guru Nanak Dev Ji's time and Babur, they actually had good relations.
Yes,
the Guru and the Emperor Babur at that time, they were actually quite friendly.
Even Jahangir's father Akbar was very close to the Gurus as well. They went and visited the Gurus.
Yeah, they came and had langar.
And the Gurus visited them. Guru Ramdas went to visit Akbar as well.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make no sense. It's all about the Guru. How can the Guru be a threat to them if the Guru had no army? How are they going to defeat?
And even if it was political, why would he then go and say convert to Islam? Right? How would that solve it politically? Wouldn't it be better just to get rid of him?
Yep, that's a good point, because even if they were, let's just say it was in Guru Arjan Dev Ji, someone else that was Muslim, just because they're the same religion doesn't mean they're not going to fight you.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen people of the same religion fight each other
and
for the kingdom?
Even in the own Mughal family, they used to fight each other over power, and they had battles with each other's brothers and family. You know?
So this is like complete logic, which these guys like to pride themselves on. Where's the logic in that?
In another place, because the story is very big. It's very deep.
It's very big lies that he's telling.
You made it very clear,
You
made it very clear, Akhi. Like, it's political.
Oh, dude, pause for a second. I've got a good idea here. I remember. Can you go to Google? Can you show everyone Google here?
Yep.
Go into Google. Something really interesting. If you're able to do that, if you just type into Google, type in Jahangir diary. Jahangir diary Sikhi. Just see what comes up when that. Click on the first link. Sorry about that. No, go back. It was fine what it was first.
Sorry.
Yeah, that one there. Yeah. Now scroll all the way down to the bottom. We can cut this out and find it here. Yeah, this part here. Yeah. Okay, so can you just read this out to the people? This is apparently from Jahangir's memoirs, right? Which will put a description to this in the link of what is being said here. This is what Jahangir has to say himself in his own memoirs.
In Govindwal, which is on the river Beas, there was a Hindu named Arjan in the garments of sainthood and sanctity, so much so that he had captured many of the simple-hearted of the Hindus, and even of the ignorant and foolish followers of Islam. By his ways and manners, they had loudly sounded the drums of his holiness. They called him Guru, and from all sides, stupid people crowded to worship and manifest complete faith in him. For 3 or 4 generations, they had kept this shop warm. Many times it occurred to me to put a stop to this vain affair, or to bring him into the assembly of the people of Islam. Okay,
so where does that sound anything political to you? That just sounds like religion to me, right? In that political, you could say it's political in that respect when it comes to religion, right? And talk about later about their own son Khusro. Now, look, I'm not here to debate the point whether this memoir is right or wrong, because someone could say that's not valid, but that is a different perspective. If you look at the Sikh perspective, then it will say, if you read the Sikh scriptures, whether it's Guru Pratap Surj Granth, whether it's Gyani Gyan Singh, whether that is Guru Bilas Pasha Shevi, these are these renowned historical references that we have, right? They'll speak about how for example, how they wanted they wanted Guru Arjan Dev to add the writings of Muhammad Sahib to Guru Granth Sahib, their praises,
Yeah.
right? Or add the praises of Jahangir.
Yeah.
That's what the Qazis wanted at that time, right? There's all these different aspects, right? But the point of their conversation was that the Sikhs held enmity towards the Muslims because of these Mughals.
Yeah.
Now I can't dispute this fact that there are probably some Sikhs that do,
Yeah.
because that is what people do. We hold enmity towards each other. But if you look at what our gurus practice and the Sikhs at the time, that is complete. There's not one even iota amount of truth in that. It's completely false. How do we know that? Because our sixth guru built a mosque for the Muslims
This is after the fifth Guru got martyred.
under the regime of the Mughals,
Yeah. By the Mughals.
by the Mughals themselves.
Yeah.
And their son is the sixth guru,
Yeah.
Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji.
Yeah.
And they were imprisoned by the Mughals as well.
Yeah.
And that mosque is called Guru Ki Masjid. You can Google that yourself, Guru Ki Masjid. So if the Sikhs hated the Muslims, if the Guru hated the Muslims, this Guru,
Why would they go and build a mosque for them?
and this is the grandfather of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, who he's talked about earlier,
Yeah.
hating the Muslims, or whatever word he used, being corrupt and stuff, right? They built a mosque for the Muslims, right? So it doesn't make any sense what they're on about.
And they were also very, very close with many Muslim saints.
Yes,
Sai Mia Mir, a
100%.
very famous example.
So Wazir Khan was another example of that as well,
Yeah.
from Guru Arjan Dev Ji's time.
Yeah.
So if one of the leaders of the Muslims happened to be, not 100%, ruling by the Book of Allah, and these are humans and people. And people do make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this does not reflect on what the Quran teaches. You said already, La ikraha fi din. That's it. And this idea of La ikraha fi din has been implemented throughout the Muslim Ummah. If you think about it, even in India. I mean, did the Muslims in Mughal Empire want to start slaughtering any Hindu and just burning and demolishing any Hindu temple or any place? No. Why do we have more Hindus today than Muslims? When Muslims were in power with their sophisticated army and wealth, they could have exterminated,
Because the Sikhs stood up for the Hindus.
multiple tribes and many tribes. But this is not the case.
And even
Same thing in
Muslims,
Egypt,
even
same thing in
Muslims
Middle
say
East.
that as well, right? So this point is just funny because I remember once going to an interfaith talk, and then a Muslim guy came to afterwards and he said to me that is it true then that the Sikhs are only created to fight against the Mughals? But that is not the reason why they created, first of all.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons, was to fight tyranny and
Fight injustice.
and that's what Aurangzeb did, right? They did that. So let's see what he has to say next then.
And churches of the Christians are still surviving today. If that was the case, the Muslim in power, they could have annihilated the whole idea. You will not be a soul that carries a cross around. But that's not what we see. They were
The ninth
respected.
Guru
They
gave
were
their
called
life
dhimmis,
for the Hindus.
like the Christians that live in that.
Hopefully they can read that history and find out.
I don't know why the world today has so much of hate about Islam that they don't want to read the Quran. They don't want to do the research into the Prophet of Islam.
because of a few
but they just
bad,
want to create
extremist
stories
Muslims,
and believe
right?
what they want to believe.
I guess so,
And
yeah.
they want to say that Islam is wrong. They want to say Islam is violent. They want to say Islam is this and that and the other, but not knowing anything. Like one of the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. Now Aurangzeb was known to be, from all the emperors, he was the most Islamic of them. He prayed 5 times. He did not consume alcohol and so on.
Okay, so
Now,
look, I'm not a Muslim,
Yeah.
right? But I think I know a basic amount about a Muslim to know that yes, 5 times they don't drink alcohol. That makes them, they've fallen the path of Islam.
Yeah.
But
But Aurangzeb was definitely not a good Muslim.
at all,
Yeah.
at all, the complete opposite. Right, Aurangzeb imprisoned his own father. Right, I know a lot of our Muslim brothers and sisters talk about respecting your parents. My man put his own father into prison.
He killed his own brother.
He killed most of his brothers. I think he killed all 3 of them.
Yeah.
He poisoned his sister. He even swore an oath on the Quran.
Yeah.
And went against that oath. And that is written in Zafarnama by Guru Gobind Singh Ji. When the Pahari Raja, the Hindu Hill Raja, and then the Muslims, the Mughals, when they went to go and fight Guru Gobind Singh Ji in the last battle, Anandpur Sahib to Chamkaur Sahib. In Anandpur Sahib, in that battle in 1704, 1705, they said that we swear on the Quran, we swear on our holy cow, the Hindu said, that we will not attack you if you leave this fortress. And they attacked them when they left. Right, so how can this guy sit and say that he was the most Muslim out of all of them? But obviously, like Akbar
How
was a
can
great
you make a oath on the Quran and then
and go against
go
it,
against it?
right? But even the other points about the father and stuff like that, just because they prayed 5 times a day and they did drink alcohol,
That doesn't make you a true Muslim.
that's like a Sikh. I may pray, 3 times a day, but I could do all these horrible stuff. Doesn't make me a good Sikh. It just means that I'm doing the actions, but I'm not even listening to the words of those prayers. Right? So this guy's makes some proper crazy statements, man.
There's a lot of claims that the Hindus make about him. And what's happening today in India with the BJP government, they are trying to make Aurangzeb look bad because of the reason of that he went around and broke all idols and the temples, the Hindu temples. But wait a minute, if that was true, why do you still have so many documentaries talking about the greatness of India, talking about the greatness of the temple, how they designed it and everything? If Aurangzeb broke everything.
Look, he didn't break down every single temple. Why? He broke down temples, yes, thousands, but there are thousands upon thousands of temples, right? And he stopped at a point, and this is in Sikh history as well that he did that, and then he stopped after a while. He went to a place like Jaipur.
India is so massive, and the Mughals, to be clear here, they didn't have control of all of India.
No.
They only had control of like northern India and mid India. So they didn't even touch South India.
So yeah, this guy is just making stuff up now, man. Literally.
Aurangzeb did not break anything. In fact, most of his governors were Hindus. Most of his governors were Hindus.
And just a
Muslims.
A point on this is, even though they were Hindus, they had to live in secrecy, doing their prayers behind closed doors, because they were living in fear that if they did their prayers in public, they would get persecuted. Why would they do that?
And it's political. Like they mentioned the point about Jahangir, it's political that they had these Hindu leaders, but they were all in fear. And who's to say that they weren't going to convert them afterwards anyway? Right? Just because they're they're Hilal, but at the same time,
they were just allies at the time.
They were forced to help them. Right? At the same time, Aurangzeb's their grandfather, Jahangir, they imprisoned these Hindu kings for political reasons. Right? The story of Bandi Chor, very famous in Sikhi, Bandi Chor, the Diwali, the whole story, right, with the 52 kings in prison and the Guru Har Gobind Singh Ji released them. Those 52 kings, their ancestors, betrayed the Guru, the 10th Guru, and went on the side of Aurangzeb to attack the Guru. Right, so it's got nothing to do with, that Aurangzeb didn't convert these people. He went on a mass conversion to the point where it's written that until he had 50 kg of janeos in front of him. A janeo is a piece of string, a taga.
String that Hindus used to wear.
Wear, the sacred thread, right? Until he had 50 kg of janeos in front of him, he would not eat his dinner. Right? This guy was brutal. To his own family, to his own father, right? And he's making these points. The guy doesn't even know what he's on about. And look, these are things that we've got from our references, from our historical books, right? That we have, history, that we've already named them earlier, right? And many more. He's not provided one reference here, and he talks about being an intellectual.
And you can't say, it's just a conspiracy. Because this is not only in Hindu history, it's also in Sikh history, right? There's many accounts.
Even Western history, bro.
Even Western history, there's so many unbiased accounts which prove this.
Yeah, so this guy's funny, man.
Right, and this goes down in history. It's written in history. It's not just a proclamation saying that this and that and everything.
Show it to us, brother.
Most of his
Show it to us, man.